It's just like, oh my goodness, what did I just get myself into? Hey guys, we are almost through January and we are in 2018, so I thought I would share with y'all my review on the Eastern Hemisphere for Sonlight. It's also considered Core F, and I'll share with you some of the other things that we've incorporated in with the curriculum. But so far, I have to say I love this curriculum. It has the week laid out for me, and I really do need structure and need to make sure that I am doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing stuff. And I'm trying to find a page here. It gives you the option, well, depending on what you purchase, you have the option to do 5 days a week or 4 day a week. And we do 5 day a week. So I really like this curriculum because it's got a lot of stories and a lot of books, and I get to reuse everything with every kid. And I also get to use it with multiple kids at the same time. It does require me to read out loud quite a bit, but I've been able to find some audio books that either were free or not expensive. I subscribed to a website called audible.com, and I did the free trial, and I was going to cancel, but I decided to stay with them because when I went to cancel, it gave me half off, and so I got, it's called 3 credits, and each credit is a book. Excuse my voice, I'm going through something. And I think the trial gives you 1 free one. I have 2 children who are 9 and 7, and both of them are able to listen to the stories, do their Bible from here, and the readers are what are different. So Joseph, the 9-year-old, does the readers from Sonlight, and Jolina's only in 1st grade. So I have her doing some Abeka readers since I have a ton of those, and she's just going to go through the books. And that's what I did with Joe last year. Somebody gave me and also sold me a bunch of Abeka books, and I found them really helpful for the kids to just read those and read them to me whenever I ask them to. So on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, they read to me, and on Tuesday and Thursday, they read by themselves. I'm just going to read you the subjects that they include in the curriculum. It's the student reading the scriptures by themselves. I don't make Jolina do that yet. Parent and student reading. So I read out loud to the kids the Bible, and I'll explain it and talk about it. Then there's one called 100 Differences Between Cats and Dogs. If you haven't heard of that, it's really funny. You should look it up on Amazon. And then they have memorization through song, and also I'm supposed to read the scripture and help them to memorize it. And then it has history incorporated, read alouds, and readers. And then this one happened to come with it's called Creative Expressions, and it's basically kind of like language arts, I guess, but it's too difficult for my 9-year-old and my 7-year-old, and it required a lot of them, so I ended up switching to a different book. I use Daily Skills, Builders, Grammar, and Usage, and I found this one to be a lot easier and more encouraging. The other one, it was kind of dreadful, so this one has some pictures still, and it explains to the kids what to do, and if they need help, they'll ask. But this has been really helpful because before that, I am awful in language arts, and they needed help, and I really I don't have the skills to help them in this. I'm just one of those people who's really good at math and a few other things, and this has never been a subject that I could completely grasp, even in school, even though everything was repeated over and over. It's, you know, a lot of it's memorizing what things are, and my mind memorizes numbers, not a lot of vocabulary or words for some reason. And then the kids also use Spelling Power. I know Claire over at Cookie Crumb Fun has done a few videos about Spelling Power, and if I get a chance, I'll link some of them in the iCards or down in the description so that y'all can check out if you're interested. But basically, this has a ton of words that the kids spell. However, it is for all grades, and it has placement tests, and it's just really simple to use, and the kids seem to progress really quickly through this. Every week they get new words, and by the end of the week they're spelling the words that they misspelled. So they don't ever get words that they already know how to spell. They just get words that they can't spell. And so every Monday we have I want to call it like a little quiz to see what they can spell, and after they misspell so many, we stop, and if they don't misspell any, I don't give them any that week because they did so good. For vocabulary, I use Worldly Wise 3000, and I actually got the idea of using this book from Lindsey Murphy, and I'll post a link to her channel and possibly the video where she actually opens this book up and goes through some of it so that you can see what's in it. And I'm loving this. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. The kids can do it for the most part on their own, except for the younger ones. So Jolena, I help her. Joe, for the most part, understands how to do it, except for when he doesn't read the directions, and that tends to be more of his downfall and not the books. It's been really helpful. I've seen an increase in their understanding of words. And then that also comes with an answer key, and I keep these. There are 36 weeks total for us to get through, and along the way, in every week, it tells you on day 1, this is what you're doing, these are the questions that you can ask the kids. However, I found that the questions, at least for Joe, for some reason for the boys, they don't really understand the questions. So I try to talk to them, I guess, the way they're used to being asked things. I think it's a maturity thing, because eventually, I think Jesse caught on when he was like 11, where he could read the question and be like, oh, I know that. I know what that means. Where before it was just like, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what you're asking. And now he does. So when I read to them, or when they read, I just ask them, what was your story about? Well, why did that happen? And, you know, just kind of try and press into the main points that they're talking about, and then they'll give me details. And that's what I want to know, that they're understanding what they're reading, and that they can give me some details back to understand the story a bit better from their perspective and their point of view. And then it also has, I guess, reminders for grammar, vocabulary, and the creative expressions. But like I said, I eliminated the creative expressions during the I want to say maybe 4th month or 3rd month we tried, and it just took us a really long time, and it was a lot of work. I think if you had an older kid doing this, it would have been easier where they could do that by themselves. But because I have Jolena as well, and then the 2 little ones, Jubilee and Jeremiah, it just made it a lot harder. And then it has the same thing for day 2 all the way to day 5. And day 5 is a smaller amount of work that they ask for. But if we fall behind, we tend to finish up on Friday. So if I maybe don't read one of the chapters, or we didn't get to finish everything because maybe we had appointments, or I don't know, just maybe I didn't feel good, or maybe some of the kids didn't feel good, we would use Friday to catch up. Or throughout the week, we'd know, because you can see exactly what you're reading and which day's heavy and which day's lighter. And on the lighter days, I tend to add a little more so that we could get further along. And also, so if I know the next week I have something during the school day where it's going to take the kids away or me away from school, on Friday I will do an extra day of the next week in order to push us forward, and so that we don't fall so far behind. As I say, it's really nice just having the layout, and I can show you one of the sheets. This is from week 8. And this is how it looks. You can see it has the days. This is the subjects. And this is day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you can see day 5 has a lot less things on it. So on the other side of the page, it has in the back the other things that you should supplement, or that they've given you to use. And you have sequential spelling, optional handwriting. They have spelling, handwriting, grammar, mechanics, vocabulary development, creative expressions, and electives. And that's where we've supplemented with spelling, power for spelling. I have a handwriting book. I'll share that with you in a minute. And then for the grammar grammar mechanics is where I said that we use the daily skill builders. And then the vocabulary development was the worldly wise, this one. And then the creative expressions is in the binder, and the binder is pretty big. I will show you that in a minute. But this is the handwriting book that we use. And again, Lindsey Murphy, like I said, I'll post a link to her channel, opened up this book and showed what was in it. And it really sparked my interest, because I really would like my children to learn nice writing, but also cursive. And so this starts out in just regular print, but I think the next book moves into cursive, and we have those somewhere in the bookshelves. But let me show you the binder as well. This is the Instructor Manual, and it is a 2-inch binder, and it is full. But even though this looks really big, because I know what's in it already, it's not overwhelming at first. When I ordered a Sonlight curriculum, it looked like a lot. I was just thinking, how am I going to do this? I was overwhelmed, and I mean, everything came in this huge box. It was just like, oh my goodness, what did I just get myself into? But it's an awesome curriculum. It's worth it. I love it, and I honestly would recommend it to anyone, especially someone who needs more structured, who can't juggle a bunch of different things, you know, trying to bring your own curriculum together. I can't do that. I've seen people do that, and I'm pretty amazed when they do, and when they have a schedule that they can actually follow based off of the things that they chose. I'm just not built that way. So I will show you the book. So this is why it looks like a lot. So here is the bookshelf with all the books that are a part of this curriculum. Let me see if I can get more. Up until right here. And we read these throughout the whole year. So I forgot to mention science. We use Apologia for science, and I have to say I really like this. They're just cool books, and they talk about the Bible alongside it. So it works really well. And also, it's science. It's not necessarily tons of theories. And then for writing, I don't have the book in front of me right now, but what we use is something called Writing Strands, and that book is awesome. It tells the kids what to do every single day, every single time, and things that explain things to the kids so that they could do it on their own are really helpful to me, so that I can keep my house running. So while I'm doing school with one kid, the other kid can be doing something else, or the other kids can be doing something else, because when I do school with Jubilee and Jeremiah, I have a little chair right here. I'll show you. And they come and sit by me at my desk, and I do their school right here. It's very simple, very basic. It's, you know, numbers, ABCs. They don't have a curriculum yet. I haven't decided to completely invest yet into one of the curriculums for them, just because they like to play. For this curriculum, we do use this map quite a bit, and the kids learn a lot of geography, and that's really helpful. And I have some things around the room that help us to remind us of what some things are, and I'll just show you some. Over here, I have good spellers, and then I have the calendar, and above the calendar, I have a clock. I have my dry erase boards, but up there is the months. And then over here, it's parts of speech. So the noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, you know, whatever. And sometimes I have to use them, or not them, but the parts of the speech to help the kids. And then over here on this side, in order to keep my little ones busy, I have some things in this bookshelf for them that are up top so that I can make sure when they get something, they put it back before they get something else, because from there to the floor, they are only about this high. And so I can pretty much catch them if they get anything they're not supposed to. And on the bottom, I have some puzzles, and these books here are just books that the older kids read. And right here, I do use this for Jeremiah and Jubilee to look at the alphabet and the numbers at the bottom. And sometimes the other kids will look at this when they're writing. For math, we just use Saxon Math, and we use the textbooks after, I think, 3rd grade. It goes to 4 or 5, and then for the other ones, though, I use the teacher's manual where you get to speak verbatim what the book says, and the kid listens, and then they do the little workbooks. So I think that's maybe kinder through 1st grade is what we use in that area. One of the electives that the kids do is drawing, and they have an art book that they use and draw in. And then Joseph has a Huion where he can actually draw on the computer his pictures, because he's pretty talented in drawing. And we found that I think it's going to be beneficial to him in the future for whatever he decides to do with his future. So we went on ahead and invested in that. And if you don't know what Huion is, it's a pad that you draw on that you can see on the computer, but you actually can't see anything on the Huion. It's all black. And so you're learning to draw while looking up. It's pretty cool. If you haven't heard about it, I'll post maybe a link in the description to the Huion, or find a video that I would recommend. But sorry this video is so long. I will talk to y'all later. I hope if anyone's out there looking for a curriculum that you would consider the Sonlight, especially if you want something structured. And I'm using this for a 5th grade curriculum, and also, like I said, Jolina's in 1st grade, so it's versatile. Girls seem to be more mature and able to understand things a little sooner than some boys. If you have any comments, questions, please post them in the comment section. I'd be happy to answer them. And as for maybe learning something from y'all, do you have a curriculum that is structured that you like, or are you able just to pull different things and make your own schedule and make it work for the year? Let me know, and I will talk to y'all later.